Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Welcome back to the range. A couple of weeks ago I featured my 460 Smith & Wesson chambered Taurus Raging Hunter revolver in a video, and toward the end of that video I asked you guys to comment if there was anything else you wanted to know about the revolver, or anything you wanted to see me do with it, anything specific you wanted to see me shoot, and comment you guys did. I'm getting a ton of comments still on that video, so trying to keep up with them all. One comment that I've seen several times is, would I fire 45 Colt, 454 Casull, and 460 Smith & Wesson out of this revolver and show the difference in the recoil in slow motion. So that's a simple enough video to do, and that's what I'm going to do today. Before we get started here, I should show you the three ammunitions that I'm going to be using today. We've got our 45 Colt, 454 Casull, and of course our 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Here's a look at all three cartridges side by side. You can see they're all the same bullet diameter, but the cartridges get longer as the power levels go up. That's why you can shoot the shorter cartridges in a gun chambered for the longer ones. If you've got a 454 Casull, you can shoot the 45 Colt in it. Of course, it doesn't work the other way around because the chambers aren't going to be deep enough. We're going to start with the 45 Colt. This particular cartridge comes to us from Hornady. When I say comes to us, I mean I bought it. Hornady doesn't sponsor any of my videos or anything like that, but it comes from Hornady. This is a Lever Evolution cartridge, optimized for use in lever guns, but it's going to work fine for what we're using it for today. 225 grain FTX bullet. Muzzle velocity rated at 950 feet per second. So, something you need to consider here is we're just looking at the three cartridges fired out of this revolver. If you were firing the 45 Colt out of a revolver that is chambered for 45 Colt, you're going to feel a lot more of the recoil. The average weight for a 5.5-inch revolver chambered in 45 Colt is probably going to be around 40 ounces. This Taurus is advertised at 54 ounces. And I'm going to talk more about that here in just a little bit. Plot spoiler, Taurus is actually lying to us on their website. I'll get my scale out and show you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. So, when you're shooting it in a lighter gun, you're going to feel more of the recoil. Also, this gun's chambers are deep. They're for the 460 Smith & Wesson, so that's like a little expansion chamber here for the gases before the bullet even gets to the throat. So recoil shouldn't be much at all in this revolver. Let's shoot it and find out. So I'm just going to shoot into that berm below my backstop there. As you can see, very mild recoil from the 45 Colt fired out of a 460 chambered revolver. All right, so up next we've got the 454 Casull. This is loaded by Buffalo bore. Let me tell you something, like Jeff Quinn used to say, they don't cheat you on powder. This is a very hot load of 454 Casull here. And 454 Casull it's a ferocious cartridge. In that last video, when I said you could shoot less powerful cartridges, like the 454 Casull and the 45 Colt, out of the 460 revolver, when I said less powerful, I wasn't trying to insult the 454 Casull. It is a beast of a cartridge. Let's see the numbers that Buffalo bore has on here. 300 grain jacketed flat nose bullet at 1650 feet per second at the muzzle. Now again, I'm not testing velocities today, but I can tell you these things are stout. It'll generate about 5 times the recoil as the 45 Colt did. Again, with 454 Casull, if you shoot that in a revolver made and chambered for 454 Casull, you're going to feel a lot more of the recoil than you will shooting it out of a revolver chambered for .460 Smith & Wesson. It's just a bigger, heavier revolver. But back to what this gun weighs. Taurus on their website says it weighs 54 ounces. So I looked at some of the common guns chambered in .454 Casull, and for instance, the Ruger Super Red Hawk, which is a double action revolver, and given a 7.5-inch barrel, comes in at 52 ounces. Only 2 ounces less than this one. A Bisley Super Black Hawk from Ruger with a 6.5-inch barrel comes in at just over 50 ounces. A Taurus Raging Bull double action with a 6.5-inch barrel comes in at 53 ounces, so nearly identical to this .460. And a Magnum Research BFR single action revolver chambered in .454 Casull comes in at over 59 ounces. So how could that be? Why are these revolvers as heavy or heavier than this one? Well, they're not. I got my scale here and weighed this gun myself, and that information Taurus has on their website on this 6 3/4-inch barreled .460 Smith & Wesson Raging Hunter is just wrong. Here we can see, give that scale a second. This revolver comes in at 65 ounces. So way off on their information. Looking at the numbers that Taurus was giving me and the numbers I was seeing on the other revolvers, just something didn't add up. So that's why I got the scale out and just weighed it for myself. So .454 Casull is up. Let's do it. The rain's starting to come down. Need to go ahead and get this done. So here goes, .454 Casull. Much more recoil than the .45 Colt, obviously. Okay, I had to scamper around and move everything under my carport here that covers my shooting bench. Got a pretty good little downpour there, but it's letting up. I think we're going to be okay to finish this video. Up next, I should say last, but certainly not least, the massive .460 Smith & Wesson. .460 Smith & Wesson Magnum, I should say. And this is just, it's just a beast of a .45 caliber handgun cartridge. This is also loaded by buffalo bore. In my initial video with this revolver, I shot Underwood ammunition, and I love Underwood ammunition. But I thought it'd be more fair to compare this against the .454 Casull as far as recoil goes if I got them both from the same manufacturer. So again, buffalo bore. Information here on the box says 300 grain jacketed flat nose, the same bullet that was on the .454 Casull. Our numbers are a little different. Look at that. 2,060 feet per second. And that's a muzzle energy of 2,826 feet-pounds. That's crazy. But that's what's up next. So let's go ahead and get it done. Again, I'm just going to shoot into the berm there below where my backstop is. And I'm going to hang on tight, guys. Here goes. Gosh. Much more recoil than the .454 Casull when fired out of this Raging Hunter .460 revolver. All right, so we got some weather moving in here, so I'm gonna have to wrap this video up. I appreciate the video suggestions. This was an easy video to do. Several of you guys wanted to see it. All the work, of course, will be in the editing, putting that slow motion footage together and stuff, but I appreciate it. When I ask for video suggestions, in that last video I did on this revolver, I underestimated how many I would get. I'm still getting comments on that video, so Thank you guys very much. I've got a lot of them wrote down, and I will get to them over time. You'll see this revolver again on the channel several more times probably. This wind's really picking up. I hope not ruining the audio here, but also if you shoot 45 Colt or 454 Casull in your 460 revolver, clean those chambers after each range trip. It's a lot easier to get that carbon out of there before it builds up and starts causing you problems. It's the same problems you get when you shoot a bunch of 38 special in a 357 Magnum revolver or 44 special in a 44 Magnum. It'll cause that little carbon ring to build up in there if you don't clean it before it gets built up. So I'm going to clean this thing, and I suggest that if you shoot those, you clean them after every range session, because with that 460, it's such a high pressure round anyway, you don't need extra problems from carbon being built up in your chambers. But you guys, anytime anybody asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, remember that freedom is the greater good. And that's all I've got, so I'll talk with y'all again soon.